Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today love is in the air because the Valentine's reg machine is coming to North America because, you know, it's totally Valentine's Day. But regardless of how much you love the late timing, this reg machine event does feature some new cards and has some chase value at the very top, as well as the sprinkling of gemstone princesses throughout. However, it's not as, like, say, overpowering or as great value as other collabs or seasonal events have been. So the decision as to whether or not you should roll obviously rests upon your own monster box personal preference and how much you want to turn your waifu into your lifu. So as an overview, there is an 8-star card, which is Valentine's Nay. We have Astaroth and Kushinada Hime, and then we have the 3 gemstone princesses of Facette, Carrot, and Sheen, and then all 5 Chinese celestials of Karen, Leyland, Mei, Sakuya, and Haku. Unfortunately, like this collab, like many other collabs, like obviously is reasonably top heavy, but on the bright side, we still do have good value from the gemstone princesses, which are 6-star rating, and they have maybe about 5, maybe 5.25% chance of being rolled, give or take. So this is by far the best time to actually acquire these gemstone princesses, and I'll explain more of the cards in greater detail. So I'm taking all of this information from Pad X. They don't have their icons or individual cards updated, so I'm just including some screenshots and copy pasting for their active and leader skills. So Valentine's Nay is basically is like Nay on steroids. She has a bind clear of 5 turns, as well as a woken bind clear for 5 turns, as well as changing the board to light, dark, and heal. So basically she's doing more bind clearing than her her regular rare machine equivalent, and as a leader we don't really care. So her awakenings are incredibly powerful. Like, she does have double 7 combo, which is kind of becoming more standardized on top tier cards. She's got bind immunity, but she also has double TPA. So this double TPA can help you punch through certain spawns. Like, I'm using my own light nail on my Edward team, and that extra bit of damage is sometimes helping me out, but it's not always pursued because sometimes it's better to make sets of 3. But regardless, the big drawing point for Valentine's Nay is this void damage penetration awakening, and it's that void damage penetration awakening that makes her one of the most powerful subs you can actually own in the game. And this is important because the box or void damage penetration awakening allows you to basically pierce through any spawn with the damage absorption mechanic. So this includes something like, say, Gaia Dragon, Zeus Dragon, Noah Dragon. No, not Noah Dragon. I don't even remember. But point is, like, Gaia and Zeus Dragon, 100% sure. Those, and Noah Dragon for sure. Yes, they can be pierced through of this card. However, most pixel cards, which are historically the cards that actually own this void damage penetration awakening, don't have offensive awakenings to help boost their damage out further, because the thing is, you tend to want to be able to one-shot that spawn with only the void damage piercing card. So when Nay has double 7 combo and double TPA, her damage can actually skyrocket tremendously high and has the potential to actually kill off any spawn as well. Furthermore, her balance typing allows her to take any latent killer in the game, so you'll be able to customize her into like an incredible killing machine. And this is wonderful, but the main problem is, obviously, she's very rare, so very challenging to roll. But the thing is, compared to other collab chase cards, like, yes, she's amazing, yes, she's very powerful, but she's not a leader. And if we look back and compare to the Full Metal Alchemist and Edward, if I had to pick either having Edward or Valentine's Nay, I would rather have Edward, because Edward is a leader, and basically Edward can make your whole monster box perform better. Valentine's Day Nay still needs a strong leader to actually carry her through dungeons, so it's going to be a little problematic. So it is valuable, it is powerful, it is a chase card, but again, it's very rare and very challenging to roll. And the other cards in this machine, aside the gemstone princesses, are not so great overall. So we go now into the 7-star cards. So Astaroth has active skill changing fire, jam, or poison to wood. So basically that's useful. You remove hazards to make wood orbs, enhances all orbs. So some damage augmentation as well as removing hazards. Her leader skill is 2 times attack and damage reduction when attacking with wood and light, and then 5 times attack when matching 5 orbs, 1 enhance. So being able to take away poisons and jammer orbs and make them enhanced is very important, because that's one of the biggest problems that 5 orb 1 enhanced teams actually suffered from. for a long time because, well, if your primary orbs get taken away into jammers and poisons, they lose their enhanced status. And that means that, well, you're not going to be able to deal damage, so that is problematic. So her active skill helps solve it. And it's kind of akin to how Akechi used to work for Yomi Dragon, except this one's a little stronger because, well, you're converting the dead orbs into valuable orbs. However, 5 orb 1 enhanced leaders are still a little problematic, mostly because like they're orb hungry, and Astaroth is no exception. You need light and wood to actually deal your full multiplier as well as receive damage reduction. So right away, that is orb hungry, as well as needing 5 wood orbs. So you need 5 wood orbs, 3 yellow orbs, and you need to do this kind of every single turn. So it may be challenging to actually have enough orbs present all the time. And if you're wanting to stall, you need to actually have those light and wood orbs present, because if you don't get your damage reduction, and then you become basically paper thin and you get smashed. Not a good situation. So she needs kind of like that passive damage reduction that Edward has all the time. If she had something like that, she could be a lot more viable. But because she's requiring your primary offensive orbs, it's a little problematic. However, I guess maybe to help compensate for only 100 times multiplier, she has the double L attack awakenings, and that is powerful for 5 orb 1 enhanced teams because you do tend to, well, you have to match 5 connected orbs, so you make an L in the corner and boom, you get explosive amounts of damage. So it can be a way for her to overcome the lack of damage potentially, but then again, she's a lot more fragile. Like Nergigante, by comparison, is a lot more robust and durable just because their damage mitigation is always there. So still a useful card, but nowhere near as potent or powerful as the other ones. And again, I'm kind of going through this using the pros and cons because easier to read instead of just like reading directly from the text. You can always read the whole article on my website. Now we have Valentine's Day Kushinada Hime. Her active skill basically reduces damage by 75% for 1 turn and +2 combos at the same time for a 15-turn cooldown. So longer cooldown, but +2 instead of +1 combo compared to her Rare Machine cousin. Her leader skill is the exact same multiplier and component, except it's no Skyfalls, and it applies for gods. So you still have the no Skyfall clause. You have 2.25 times health for gods and 324 times attack. So the pros are obviously like that is a respectable leader skill, like that is able to pump out large amounts of damage. She is bind immune. She's got obviously great leadership potential. She does have a synergistic active skill for what her team needs to do, and you are durable. 2.25 times health is sizable along with the health awakening. So you do get a sizable amount of health when you have dual leaders. And the no Skyfall leader skill is beneficial because you can have damage control. You can safely match orbs without worrying about bad things happening. Unfortunately, the no Skyfall does kind of clamp down on her damage potential because, well, you can't get lucky and Skyfall into additional combos. So your multiplier is fixed from whatever given board you have. And having damage control is great and fine and dandy, but the problem is the current meta is not favoring damage control leaders. We just need to hit it very hard. We need to smash as hard as possible. And Kushinada Hime is not really going to be able to do that for you because you are restricted based on how many orbs are on a given board. Yes, her active skill can help mitigate that, but a 15-turn cooldown is going to be hard to basically charge it back up in time. So she does obviously suffer from the exact same problems that the Rare Machine form has, because I guess you guys want to read this as well possibly, but like I said, right now, if you're playing like Alt Arena, or maybe, I don't know what Arena 4 has, but Alt Arena, for example, is kind of like considered endgame content, and the spawns have way too much health, and Kushinada Hime is just not going to be able to pump out enough damage just because you're gimped. Like, an average board has 7 to 8 combos, so obviously your multiplier is restricted to that. So it's going to be challenging. Yes, you can trigger all the 7 combo awakenings, but you're not going to have enough damage if your boards are 7 combo boards. You're just not going to have a high enough multiplier. So this is a little problematic. And when we have abilities like Fujin, we have follow-up attack, we have the Void Penetration or Box Awakening, damage control is far less needed. Like, you can run something that hits so much harder and just use those mechanics to basically side skirt the damage absorption or damage controlling spawns. So that is problematic. Like, if we are to compare against the Rare Machine version, she does have a better color because yellow is better than green. She does utilize gods, so you can tap into something like Cronus, although I guess regular Rare Machine has ideals. So like there's multiple 7 combo awakening options available, and the main appeal is that she's going to have higher health because gods tend to have more health than healers, as well as these enhanced heal orb awakenings allows you to actually heal significantly more when you match 4 connected hard orbs. So she can have the same amount of healing or more. She will have more health, so she is a bit more robust and durable, but again, you are having issues with your maximum damage output. And now we come to the 6-star base cards. So all the 6-star cards in the Valentine's Day collab are basically reskinned forms of Gemstone Princesses. And Gemstone Princesses are the most universal and perhaps most powerful form of damage augmentation in the game because they scale off of awakening. So the color of your team doesn't really matter, and it's just a matter of carrying those specific awakenings. And the formula for damage calculation is 1 plus brackets 0.3n, where n is the number of specific awakenings that they boost. So for example, if your team has 8 time extends, Sheen will provide you with 1 times 0.3 times 8 is basically 3.4 times attack for 2 turns. So this is definitely very viable. Like, yes, the Wise Dragons tend to produce much higher single turn damage, but the thing is, they only last for 1 turn. And being able to last for 2 turns is important when you're playing through arena level content. Like, say you're playing like Arena 3, you kill the Radar Dragon, you want to have that burst carryover for Kali. Alt Arena, same idea. You need to punch that Metatron, you need to punch the Kali. So this is why Gemstones are so highly desirable. And this is perhaps the biggest saving factor for this entire event, because without these Gemstone Princesses, there would not be enough value throughout because it's only just Valentine's Day. So having these gemstones is a great way to basically round out your monster box and is perhaps justification enough to roll in this event. So the best one by far is Carrot, because Carrot scales off skill boosts, and every team has skill boosts. Most cards have 2 or so skill boosts, so you're definitely having the most consistent level of damage augmentation universally. And it's even more potent when you're doing like co-op farming, when you bring like say whale doors and stuff like that. That person's side obviously has lots of skill boosts. Their Carrot is going to be pumping out massive amounts of damage. But unfortunately, they're obviously all the gemstones are really just used as assists, so their actual base stats and awakenings are not that important. Maybe the colors may help open up a different avenue for stat transferring, like the Carrot now is red instead of blue, Sheen is green instead of purple, and Facette's blue instead of yellow, so you might have some more synergy of stat transferring. Sheen is the next best one. She's scales off time extends. Depending on the type of team you are running, you may have more time extends and skill boosts, but she's just not as universally well-rounded as Carrot overall. But again, if you have a team with lots of Yunas, you have lots of time extends, you're going to get lots of damage augmentation. And now we come to Facette. And Facette scales off TPA, which is much more niche, but then again, Sheet is something some people may run, so you might get some damage augmentation, but it's a lot more specific and niche by comparison. And now we come to the 5-star cards, and all the Chinese Celestials basically feature their kind of signature board changer. They create their 3 elements, and Sakuya actually creates a board of fire, water, wood, and light orbs, and as well as enhancing their primary colors. So for a veteran player, these Chinese Celestials are just cute box cheerleaders because you want board changers that make hard orbs because you want to be able to heal and deal damage. However, if you are a new player, these could be invaluable because you may not actually have any board changers in your monster box. So even just rolling to get at least one of these might be worthwhile. You might just get it from the free roll. But then again, if you roll a diamond egg, hey, you got something better. Then try again for your board changer. Like if you have that mentality, like I just want a Chinese Celestial, you're not really going to be disappointed. So it has the most value for newer players because they are able to gain a board changer basically and fill out a slot in their box they may not necessarily have had before. However, again, they have low base stats. Their awakenings are middling. They do have 1 L awakening, so maybe 5 or 1 enhanced teams might like it. Like stick the Mei on the Astaroth team, sure, a bit more damage. But again, they're not that powerful overall. So they're cool and all, but they're just not the most powerful cards in the game. Like the Dragon Bound Dragon Caller had the best value for their bottom rarity, and this machine is just only good for really new players. So, in conclusion, the Valentine's Day Rare Machine is by far the single best time to acquire a Gemstone Princess, and if you are missing especially Carrot from your monster box, it may be worth rolling a little bit because they do have at least a 5, maybe 5.25% chance of being rolled, so this is a very respectable chance because normally they have like, I think 0.6 or 1% at that. So, great time to get damage augmentation. If you need board changers, this is a great time for the 5 stars. Obviously, Valentine's Day is very amazing. I'd love to have one, but I really doubt I'd be that lucky. So, in conclusion, like, if you are liking the artwork, obviously you can go for it, but again, the overall value for this collab is not as strong as other things that might be coming. We might be getting Heroine and Dragonbound Dragon Caller again soon, so you never know. So, let me know what you think about this event in the comments below. How much do you plan on rolling, and who do you hope to acquire? Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I wish you all the best of luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.